Hello. Hello. Sorry I'm late. I didn't realise the time. That half an hour has just flown since I put up the notice that I was going to do this. So let me just slightly adjust because I've kind of like rushed this setup here. Hello. Anybody here? I think I saw a couple of comments on my laptop. So I've got Sweetie sat beside me just here. You can't see her, but she has to be near me because she's my baby. Hi Rich, no boobs tonight unless you count a little bit of cleavage. And Tracy says have a couple of peaches instead. Nick, talking with you. Hi, thanks for popping in. Peach and melons. What snacks has everybody got? Has anyone got snacks? I don't, but I do have a vodka and Diet Coke, first one of the night, maybe the only one. Cutting down a little bit on my drinking, not because I have a drink problem, because I definitely don't, but my last set of days off, I kind of ruined it by having one major night out, and then I ruined the whole next day, and I went back to work feeling unrested, and also it's empty calories, and I'm trying to lose weight. I've lost my holiday weight, just need to lose the Christmas weight now. So Rich has just had a yogurt. Can you describe it please, Richard? I need more detail. Is it sugar-free and healthy, or is it rich and creamy with some lovely flavours? Share it away. Hello Christy, just finished watching your video. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I felt like I needed to do that sexy seductress type Valentine's-ish fragrance video, so I did. Hope that you like my choices. Christy's cooking dinner. Taco night, how nice, lovely. DB70, hello. And Heather, no snacks, have to go pick my son up from school activity. Okay, we'll get a snack straight afterwards, keep your blood sugars up. So yes, just vodka and Diet Coke here for me, as I said, first one of the night, and I'm going to have a little sip right now. Lovely. So I've got a whole ton of rose fragrances. You can't see them, they're all just here. There are about, I think it's about 17 here, mostly bottles and a couple of samples or travel sizes. Trying to keep it variety, so they are most of them have a dominant rose note. Some of them have a not so dominant rose note, but still worthy of mentioning because the nose is roseable. You know what I meant to say then. Heather, Rich Mitch, send ouds. Tracy wearing tobacco rose this evening. Ah, perfect. So I have my bottle here. Heather had an apple, probably go get coffee after getting him. That sounds like a nice, healthy, balanced diet. Coffees and apples, perfect. I love coffee, by the way. Love coffee. Rich, who will be me Valentine? I'll be your Valentine, Rich. So do you want to chat fumes first? I think what we should start with is, as we always do, is sharing our scent of the night. I haven't actually really got one at the moment, so I'm going to put one on right now. So share your scent of the night with me, and I'm going to pick one from here. So I started off today, I had my shower today about lunchtime, and I wore this one, Attarda Roses. Attarda Roses by Keiko Masheri. Is quite a new to me fragrance. I bought this as a partial bottle. I got a really good deal. Sorry about all the paw marks. I got a really good deal. I think I paid £45 for this, so I was really glad to have it. So I might as well start telling you about this one while you share your scent of the day. This is a very rich, jammy kind of rose with a bit of vanilla. It's not that interesting, but it is really beautiful. If you like Stella Rose Absolute, it's in that ballpark. So it's a very dark, rich and sweet rose. Doesn't do loads of development, but it is really, really nice. Almost a bit, sort of felt a bit boozy from the lid there, which I hadn't noticed before. In terms of performance, it became or not a skin scent, but almost a skin scent after about an hour or two. But it's still there, but it's not the best performance. And as I say, not mega interesting, just really, really beautiful. So something I might consider layering with something else. So I still have the remnants of that on, and I might go on with something else. So over the top of what's left of that, I'm going to go with 411 Intenso. So this one here, this is not officially a rose fragrance, but to me it's super rosy. The main note is peony, but it smells a lot like rose to me. Too much alcohol. So Heather is wearing Ombre 114 mixed with Sultana of Soap. I haven't tried the Sultana. I actually probably haven't tried either of them. I'm curious to try Sultana of Soap from Lush. Completely Tubed is saying popcorn time, bringing out Amouage Lyric Man. That's a definite rosy one. And Sarah is wearing Mugler Pure Havane. So we've got some heavy patchouli tobacco going on over in Sarah's corner. Tracy have such a soft spot for rose. Roses are really, but my problem is I only like it, I'm quite fussy about rose, so I don't like it if it's too fresh and too pretty, I guess. But I love it if it's gourmand, and I love it if it's dark with incense or pepper or woods. DB70 Interlude Man for me this evening. We've got another amouage going on. Completely Tubed Coco Macheri is not well known, unfortunately. Yes, you don't hear a lot about them. JC Russell, hi there, how are you? I'm really good, thank you. Robert, hello Robert. Evening, you love coffee. That means you really, really, really love vodka then. I actually drink way more coffee than I drink vodka. And when you see me drinking vodka, honestly, I am drowning my vodka right out. So I only put the vodka in up to about there, and then that's all Diet Coke. So, yes. Christy, I only like dark rose, like the darkest dark. Yes, I completely get you, Christy. I really see that. Rich raspberry in fragrance is underused. I love raspberry. I have got at least one, I think, no, maybe two with raspberry, maybe more over here. So I think rose and raspberry paired together amazingly well, really, really well. I guess they're both red. Well, not always. I guess rose is not always red, but they still pair well, I think. Right then, so I'm wearing 411 Intenso. That's by Giovanna Antonelli. And the actual notes are, I've got my laptop so I can tell you. This one has a really vintage feel. It feels very classic. So you have peony, bergamot, pepper, you've got a bit of lemon, you've got jasmine, what with ylang-ylang, patchouli, amber, vetiver. But what I get is like, it's just kind of like a really classic, a bit old-fashioned rose. It's a fresh, but it's not like fresh hand cream rose, but it's bordering on that, but all the other things together make it not hand cream rose, if that makes sense. Just has a really classic feel. It does feel old-fashioned, but not to the point that I feel like I can't wear it and it doesn't suit me, because obviously I'm young, right? But it's not one I reach for a lot, because it does have this bit of an old-fashioned feel about it. Let's just check your comments. Tim Wilcox, ooh, roses, just dug out my miniature of Tower Rose de Kandahar, dark smoky real rose. I tested that a long time ago and it didn't quite work for me, and I'm not quite sure why. I can't remember. Robert is wearing Aaron Terence Hughes new scent Arabica. So that you get a coffee, Arabica coffee beans, don't you? Is it a coffee fragrance, Robert? I got a 10ml sample to try out as he's not released it yet. It's very good. That's really nice. So he sent you that as an extra. I think I might have seen that exchange on Instagram. Did he mention you? Did you say something to him on Instagram? Can't remember, but yeah, let us know a little bit more about that if you can. Jasmine, hi. And we have Valentina, hello. We have Mel, hi Mel, saying good evening to everyone. So everyone say good evening to Mel. And Rich Mitch has an opinion that I'm not going to say. So let's move on then. So we've got, we'll move that over there because we've done that one. Next rose fragrance, I'm going to go with, it's a sample I've just sprayed, and it's a Juliet Has a Gun sample, and it's called Lady Vengeance. So I sprayed that into this envelope here. This is something that was sent to me in a swap. I can't remember who now because all my samples get mixed up and I forget who sent me stuff, which is really, really bad behaviour on my part. If you sent it to me, hold your hand up. So it says, it's a very elegant but ornate Bulgarian rose marries patchouli and vanilla to draw a fine elegance, contemporary and inevitable. I'm not getting anything inevitable. To me, this is not my kind of rose. It's not bad. I could wear it, but it does lean a little bit hand cream, Marks and Spencer's body lotion, the kind of thing that's marketed for people to buy their grandma, and the grandma will just keep it in its pretty basket, gathering dust on the shelf because she uses what she uses. It has got that, it's a little bit sickly as well. I'm not quite sure what I'm thinking here, but it's a bit powdery and a little bit hand lotion. So Juliet Has a Gun, Lady Vengeance is based on spraying it on paper, but based on spraying it on paper is not really my thing. Has anyone tried it? Vanadine is wearing Amouage Lilac Love. It's hot in Miami. I need to try that, and I also want to try, oh, I've forgotten what it's called. Something Love, but it's the one that's almond and rose. Jasmine wearing Clarins Eau de Jardin. It's changed, but I still love it and needed a freshie. I wore that, I went through several bottles of that before I fell down the proper fragrance hole, the rabbit hole. Before I got into niche and kind of discovered the fragrance community, Clarins Eau de Jardin was my go-to for a good year to 2 years. I remember I wore it and it's really fresh, but it's beautiful. I remember wearing it to a working men's club that I went to with my dad and his partner, and one of the older people that they chatted with was very complimentary on my perfume. He was like, wow, that perfume's amazing. And it was Clarins Eau de Jardin, which, like this day and age, in the stage I'm at in life with perfume, I wouldn't pick that for a night out, never, because it is really fresh, but it's actually beautiful. And if you throw away all the expectations and labels and what have yous, you can wear it anytime, anywhere, any place, and it's a really nice perfume. Tracy, you can have my Lady Vengeance when I send you that other decant. Robert, Miller Harris Rose Silence is where it's at with Rose. Oh yeah, it was Robert's exchange on Instagram. Am I frozen? I've just looked at my screen and I was frozen. I remember everything, Robert. No, I don't actually. I remember some things. Valentines, Blossom Love. Yes, I've actually got what I think is supposed to be a dupe of it over here. So I'm going to go into that one in a bit. Tim Wilcox. Otherwise, the first full bottle I bought just 2 years ago was Rose of No Man's Land by Byredo. I think I've smelt it in shops, but never in depth, so I can't really recall that one now. Jasmine, I love it. Talking about Eau Jardin, it's a green like, but it's less mandarin-y. It's a work one, daytime for me. Yeah, it would be for me now, but yeah, I wore it all the time and I loved it, and I can still remember how it smelled, and it was really good. And I've always been one that what was I going to say? I've forgotten. I actually forgotten. Jasmine. I'm not sure. Jasmine saying no, you're okay, but I'm not sure in relation to what. I might be losing the plot ever so slightly. So, shall we sniff some more roses? If anyone hasn't shared their scent of the day, now's the time. If you're watching and you haven't commented, don't be shy. We're very inclusive here and we would love you to say hello. Valentines, Blossom Love reminds me of a high-end Dior, absolutely blooming. That makes sense. I haven't smelt Blossom Love, but from the dupe that I've smelt. Tracy, anyone tried Miller Harris Scherzo, and what do you think? I don't think I have. Has anyone else tried Scherzo? Mel likes the Rose of No Man's Land, but it doesn't last. I hear quite a lot with Byredos. Often, they're not all of them, but often they don't have the best longevity. I know that Gypsy Water is supposed to be beautiful, but apparently it doesn't last too well. So I haven't really found a Byredo that, well, I haven't found a Byredo I need to own yet. So it might happen one day, but I think once you get to, you smell a lot from a house and you're not finding anything that's grabbing you, it probably just means that the way they do things is not quite for you. So you kind of stop, I think you end up stop smelling new stuff by them. Tracy watched Monsieur Love's review of it. It sounded lovely. Missouri Love. I don't think I know that person unless that's a fat finger situation, Tracy. Mel Taylor, Gypsy Water lasts ages on me though, so does 1996. I can imagine 1996 does, because that's some heavy shit. I haven't really tried Gypsy Water myself. I've only heard what other people say, and that just goes to show you have to make your own mind up, because, so for example, Pomelo Paradis gets such a bad rap for longevity, and I get great longevity for a freshie at least 5-6 hours before I'd feel like respraying. So just goes to show. Scott the Centurion is wearing Boucheron Jaipur. If you haven't checked out the Centurion's latest video, he's only just posted it within the last, I think, few hours, and it's excellent. Scott, I love the editing that you did and the clever stuff that you did with the green screen. I wish I could be more technical like that. I think that was a brilliant video. So do check out the Centurion's latest video, everybody. So let's pick out another Rosy Frag. So I'm going to go for SP Parfums, and it's called Rose Polaroid. Now, I wasn't sure if this was still available, but I've checked and he is still selling this one. I'm sure he once mentioned that he was going to discontinue it, but it's still there. So this one is Rose Aldehydes and has a green dry down. It's like rose. It's a very fresh, cold fragrance. It's the aldehydes make it almost, it is kind of bordering on chemically. It's very cold, very icy cold, and a fresh, bright rose, not a voluptuous rose, not a really mega sweet rose. There's a bit of sweetness, but it's really icy cold. And then the dry down's more green. So it's like rose flowers and rose stems and ice cubes and aldehydes. So that's Rose Polaroid. Has anybody tried that one? Let me know. JC Russell, what is your favourite fragrance? Oh, don't ask me that. Oh my goodness, what's my favourite fragrance? I really don't know. My favourite fragrances are, so I love Alien Essence Absolute. That's definitely my favourite. Oh, I tell you what, probably my favourite fragrance is Guerlain in My Insolence. So it's discontinued. It was a 2012 limited edition. I only smelt it last year for the first time, halfway through last year. Thought it was a bit meh. It was okay to start with, and then I just grew to absolutely love it, like mega love it. So it's probably that one. Christy, someone said that Dior's Midnight Poison smells like a deep red rose with patchouli and amber. Has anyone smelled it? I haven't. I've got it upstairs actually. I didn't think of that one. But to me, it's heavy on the patchouli. It's so heavy on the patchouli. And when there's a lot of patchouli, my nose has trouble picking up anything else. So I can run and, I tell you what, when I go for a wee, which might happen, I'll grab it at the same time and I'll explore it with you. Jasmine, Violet. Jasmine, does that mean that's your favourite note? Let me know. Do you like my lipstick? Just throwing that one out there. It's not mega strong. And my friend Sue sent me, a little while ago now, she sent me some lipstick samples, and this is one of them. It's called Brave, so it's by MAC. So I'm trying to avoid buying from MAC because they do test on animals, but as my friend sent me a sample of it, I may as well wear it. And this is called MAC Brave, and I think it's really nice. Pinky purple colour. Robert, I prefer the lips. Christy, yes, matches your sweater nicely. Jasmine, Insolence is violet, isn't it? Yes, so the original Insolence is violet. To me, it's violet and Hairspray. But my Insolence, so you have to insert the word my first. My Insolence was a flanker and limited edition, and there's no violet in it. Nada, nothing whatsoever, no violet. It's almond blossom, musk, vanilla, raspberry. It's beautiful. It's clean. It's really clean. It's very easy to wear. It's very much a grab and go. The kind of fragrance you can wear anywhere, anytime, and just smell really good. And it does actually get me compliments quite often, even if I'm just changing over shifts at work. When I've worn it, and I wear strong perfumes a lot, and this is not mega strong, but the other day when I wore it, my colleague said, oh, I love that one you're wearing, and that was my Insolence. So it's just comforting, and something about it that I just want to smell it all the time. It's addictive, and the vanilla in it, and when you get to the dry down, it's quite a lot of vanilla, but it's not that cakey synthetic vanilla. It's not a mega gourmand. It's that Guerlain vanilla, if you know what I mean, that you can find in the L'Artemisia line, like that beautiful, delectable, something special vanilla. That's what it is. It's so good. So good. It's the only fragrance I've now got backup bottle. Oh, actually, I've got a backup of Alien Essence Absolute, and that's only because the lovely Peter Corcoran sent me his bottle that he wasn't using, and he knew how much I loved it. So Peter sent me that backup bottle. But my Insolence, I think I've got 3 bottles, and that's because I've tracked them down and pounced on them when I've seen them come up at good prices on eBay. If you just go straight onto eBay, you'll find they're trying to get £135 for a bottle. Don't pay that. You just have to be patient and do the right searches. Take the my out. Just search on Insolence and then scroll. Some people don't realise it's my Insolence, and then you might pick up a bargain. And if anyone buys it blind and doesn't like it for a good price, I will definitely buy it off you. Tim, as a Rose fan, loving your broadcast, Claire. Another big fave is Typh Rose by Ormond Jane. Will we get your top 5 roses? I don't know if I've tried Typh Rose. Has that got oud in it? If so, I might have avoided it because I'm not a fan of oud. Yeah, top 5 roses, I guess. Let me figure out what they might be, and then I'll save them till last, if that's okay. Top 5 roses. Here we go. I'm just organising them now. Probably that. Not that. That's a good one, but is it in my top 5? I feel like I'm missing some of my rose fragrances here. There's one that I love that's not here that I want to buy a bottle of, and that is, what's it called? It's by Etat Libre d'Orange, and it's the Rossi del Parma Eau de Protection. And I love that. Now, it's going to be hard for me to explain how it smells because I haven't smelt it for a long time. I was sent a sample by a good friend, and I can't remember who it was, in a swap. Oh, I know who it was. It was Monique. So Monique's definitely a rose lover, and she actually sold me that as well. So she sent me this sample along with whatever I bought of her, and I love it. So it's on my list of things to buy, but I can't remember how it smells now. But yeah, Rossi del Parma Eau de Protection from Etat Libre d'Orange is excellent, really, really good. So it's on my list of things to buy, but I'm just waiting on, I don't need a whole bottle, I've got too much perfume, so I'm waiting on someone selling a bit of a bottle, a partial bottle, and then I will grab it, but I just don't need a whole bottle. So, just trying to organise my favourite rose fragrances. I feel like there's this glaringly obvious gap. I'm looking around for like, where's the rose fragrance that should be here? So I've narrowed it down to 4. So I'm going to do, all right, you'll be getting my last 4 are going to be in order of how much I love them. So, but until then, we've got plenty more to go on with. So let's go for Gourmand Rose. Who's up for Gourmand Rose? Traverse du Bosphore, and it's a L'Artisan. Is it L'Artisan? Yes, L'Artisan Parfumeur. I always mix up L'Artisan and Atelier. So this is L'Artisan Parfumeur. This was by the master perfumer Bertrand Duchefort, who created many, many fragrances for L'Artisan. And Bosphore, I believe, is a river in Turkey. And this gives you all the delicious stuff that you can get in Turkey, mostly Turkish delight. So we have rose and iris in here. It's a cool, like if you think about, what's that sweet, oh, it's so good. I don't know why I don't wear this more often. It's very cooling, like coconut. You know, coconut ice. It's basically sugar and coconut, pink and white. Coconut ice is kind of cool. It's kind of cool. When you eat it, it's cool in your mouth. So I'm getting a combination of coconut ice and Turkish delight. Tim says there's no oud in Tafe Rose by Ormond Jane. Okay, that's interesting. I will try and smell it. Rich Mitch says Fartisan. Thanks, Rich. Heather, love Traverse. Strange you don't reach for it, not sure why. Same here, because it's beautiful. It's very sweet though, so maybe it's because it's very sweet. I mean, I could actually eat, I could eat that. It's iris and it's rose and vanilla, and it does smell a lot like Turkish delight, like rose water. And it's really, really beautiful if you like a gourmand rose. Tracy, have you tried it? Comfort Incense, Tracy. She likes her gourmands, and I know that you like the Solstice scents. I think do you like the rose ones from Solstice Scents, the rose gourmands? If you do, I can see that one being right up your street. No, not tried that one. You really must. I'd say I'll send you some, but that's all I've got, so I'm gonna keep hold of that. But yeah, do sample it if you can, because it's really, really delectable. Yeah, it also smells like marshmallows. It smells like marshmallows, Turkish delight, and coconut ice, but not really that coconutty, if that makes sense. It's gorgeous, so gorgeous. Probably the most, almost the most edible out of all of these, almost. Changlery, I like Diptyque's Fleur de Peau, Rose Iris and Ambrette. I need to re-sniff that. I have sniffed it at the Diptyque counter, but not really tried it properly. But it sounds lovely. I love all those notes, so it's kind of like, it's got to be a winner, hasn't it? Okay then, so let's go for a Lush fragrance. This one's called Two More Hearts. This is quite a floral because you have rose, ylang ylang and jasmine. Now with Lush, what you get is actual real natural ingredients. So if I can get my eyes to focus on the tiny writing, you've got your first ingredient listed. So usually ingredients are listed with the most concentrated at the top. So your very first ingredient is ylang ylang. Then you have Rose Absolute, which is super expensive. Jasmine Absolute, super expensive. Sandalwood oil, super expensive. And then the other ingredients are stuff. Oh, we've got some lemon, and then the usual sort of chemical listings that you have, eugenol, linalool, all that stuff. So, do you like my strips, by the way? I cut up Christmas cards. Woo! So Two More Hearts. This one comes off quite soapy. Two More Hearts. Quite soapy. Powdery. Rich Mitch says L'Ombre dans l'eau is a nice rose. Comforting Sense loves that one. Changlery, L'Ombre is very green. And we have Hilary in the house. Hi Hilary. So Hilary has the Bureau Nerdy Fragrance Reviews. Check out her channel if you haven't done already. I loving your last couple of videos, Hilary. Really loving them. So this fragrance it's very clean, powdery, soapy, romantic and very feminine, I would say. Not mega complex. It feels like there might be some vanilla. I don't know if one of these ingredients at the end is vanilla-y. Benzoate. Is that benzoin? Does that mean benzoin? I don't really know. Got some coumarin. Anyway, it's sweet, soapy, powdery, rose, jasmine, ylang ylang. Quite intense as well. So that one is Two More Hearts. Probably not quite my thing, a bit too floral, a bit too girly and floral for my tastes. So let's go with the next one. I think we need to do Bengal Rouge. Now the rose in here is actually not that dominant, but I just wanted to bring it in because it does have rose and I love it. So with Bengal Rouge, you have honey, sandalwood, tonka. So tonka is really spicy and a little bit sweet. And in the dry down, you have a really gorgeous ambery base. You just have some rose that kind of just lightens the composition up and makes it a little bit sexy. Love this one. Not so much the opening. The opening's nice, but actually it's the dry down that I fall in love with. So if I was a Valentine, if I had a Valentine's date and I was going to wear this one, and I quite possibly would choose this one, I would spray about an hour before I went out the door just to get to the really gorgeous bit. But it is, I mean, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, trust me, it's gorgeous all the way through. But I just really love it after the honey starts taking a back seat, I guess. Hilary says I can be her date. Okay, we'll have a virtual date. That'll be fun. I was thinking of doing a live stream. So I've said to my friend that I'll go out with her tomorrow because there's a band playing in the local pub. But I don't really need another night. I feel like I don't need another night out. And my friend's mental. Hi, Lindsay, if you're watching. She is crazy. Things always get messy. And I don't need another messy night. I guess I could try a bit of self-restraint and go to the pub, watch the band and go straight home. But sometimes it doesn't work out that way. So if I don't go out, I might do a live stream for all the lonely people. All the lonely people, where do they all come from? That's if there are any. Oh, it might just be me and Hilary chatting. Bengal Rouge. Yum. Tracy, Jasmine, I have it in the old rectangular. Oh, we're talking about Lombra de Low. Okay, so let's have another little sip of my drink. I've just remembered I've got another fragrance with rose over there, so I might grab that in a minute, but I've got more here anyway. So let's go for a really unusual one. And we have here, this is from Miguel Matos. Sorry about the dirty. It's the only thing with shiny stuff is your paw prints all over it and not looking so good. Miguel Matos, Miracle of Roses. So this is really unusual. When I first got this and tried to review it, I just decided to review it based on what I smelled rather than what the notes were, which is what I usually do. But this is so hard to understand what's in it. I made a bit of a hash up of the review. I definitely explained it how I smelled it, but what I smelled is not the listed notes so much. So I'm going to give you the listed notes first because I've got them pre-arranged on my screen. These are from Fragrantica. So we have bread, milk and cinnamon, rose, heliotrope, immortelle and iris, sandalwood, incense, woody notes and honey. And Hilary says she's wearing a weird fragrance today that has rose in. Fortin Manley Confessions of a Garden. No. Lovely. I love most of the Fortin Manley fragrances. Really, genuinely do. Bojnikov's Purple Hat is my favourite, but I like Fatih Sultan Mehmet. And well, pretty much all of them that I've smelled are really good. They all have definite, they're all related. There's a real DNA, a very strong DNA with Fortin Manley. Tracy says, interactive now, a spray and a sample you sent on me. It's spicy, sweet, rose, floral. We're talking about, just to confirm, we're talking about Miracle of Roses, Tracy, because I always forget what I sent you. Yeah. So, yes, it's absolutely, it's very rosy. The rose is very dominant. Does it smell like bread? Not exactly. To me, it's more like uncooked bread, like imagine a big pile of dough that's not been cooked and maybe got the flour scattered over the top of it. Interject, Tracy, if I'm talking absolute shit here, and the cinnamon is not the cinnamon I'm used to. It definitely does feel spicy. But cinnamon to me can sometimes turn, now this is going to be really gross, so turn the volume down if you don't want to hear this description, but cinnamon to me can go a bit groin on a tramp smell. Do you know when sometimes you find yourself in the vicinity of a homeless person and they clearly haven't had access to fresh running water for a long time. Not their fault, but they have quite an offensive smell. And I'm not talking about BO, but groin, like unwashed groin. It just seems to emanate from them. I guess almost like sweat, yes, sweaty, unwashed groin. Cinnamon can go like that to my nose sometimes. I do not get that. I'd just like to clarify, I do not get that with this. It's a little bit powdery, which I guess is from the iris. The rose is sweet. It's not the hand cream rose I don't like. It's not too fresh. And there's a slightly savoury thing, like almost like smelling cream crackers, savoury crackers. So I guess that might be the bread element. Christy, oh no, I'll never smell cinnamon the same again. Sorry, I don't want to ruin cinnamon for everyone. That's what I get sometimes. Now I've got another fragrance here, rose and cinnamon, that does not do that either. So it's just sometimes. And more, I guess, the more, if it smells more like the cinnamon from the spice cupboard, like proper full on cinnamon. Yeah, but this has, that's the cat going out the cat flap. This has concrete dust in it, which I love. Obviously it doesn't actually have concrete dust in it, but the smell to me is, there's this mineral concrete dust, which is lovely, and it brings it down to earth. Ooh. Fragrance test tube, hello. Yes, a nice spice is rising up. Yeah, it's really, really nice. I need to wear this more often. Changli, I agree. Sometimes cinnamon can smell weird. For example, I'm not a fan of Dior's Mitzar. The cinnamon smell, well, Mitzar for me, I did have a decant a long time ago. It was just too strong. I liked it. I like all the components, but it was like, whoa, it was punching everyone in the face. It was crazy. I just couldn't wear it. So yeah, Miracle of Roses. I think I'm giving up explaining that one now, but powdery, ever so slight savoury element that contradicts or counteracts with the sweetness, and a really beautiful rose element and some concrete dust. So yeah, it's really nice. Let's have a little drink. I'm running out of drink. Might have to pour another one. I didn't bring, my intention was to only have one. So I didn't bring my vodka and Diet Coke here for convenience. So I might have to get up and leave you looking at a blank wall. So I get paid, when do I get paid? Tomorrow, I think. I get paid tomorrow, and that's when I'm going to buy my special chair. So this is when I'm going to buy the crazy throne that's going to be like, whoa. So I'm looking forward to that. And then when I go and do whatever I do and leave you on your own, you'll have this beautiful chair to look at. Right then, so let's go for a boozy rose. Who wants a boozy rose? Christy says, go get the Midnight Poisoner. I definitely will. Frankenstein. Hello there, Smurfy. Looking great. How are you doing today? Really well, thank you, Frankenstein. What a great name you have. And we're now going to smell a boozy rose. And I'm not that into boozy fragrances. It's quite rare for me to really enjoy any boozy. If it's got a strong boozy element, I'm not generally into it. But this is rosé all day. So it's based on, I guess, rosé wine, but it does have rose. It's also got, oh, the spray is playing up. Oh, here we go. It's also got, I'll just give you the notes because they're on the bottle. Apple crisp, plum, dark rose, brown sugar, tonka bean, stainless steel. So there's a funny note. Hilary loves rosé all day. So this is a really rich, fruity, boozy fragrance with some rose. I get almost like stewed fruits with lots of spices. So imagine you're stewing up some fruits and so you're heating them up and they're all like pulped right down, and then you add the dark sugar to sweeten them up, and then you add a big dollop of rosé wine and loads of spices. It's like that. It's extremely intense. I guess the apple kind of freshens things up a little bit actually. So you've got stewed fruits, which I guess is a plum, but there is this apple that's on top that's just adding a brightness, a green apple freshness. But it's definitely sugary and boozy. Oh, I didn't bring my Intense Cafe down. I just realised. Frankenstein saying the only rose fragrance gets me going until now is Montel Intense Cafe because of my biasness towards the coffee note. Yeah, I enjoy a bit of coffee in frags for sure. George, how about Tobacco Rose? I have it here. I will be talking about it very shortly. Hello, sweetie. Christy, rosé all day sounds good to me. It's extremely rich. It's got really dry spices. So you've got the moistness of the cooked fruit, the condensed fruit, and dry spices on top, and a heated up rosé wine. Really interesting. Jim's here. I'm going to be the wet blanket. Rosé all day smells like an old wino to me. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that a little bit, but without the unwashed groin, I hope. I can't smell unwashed groin, so that's good. So I love the presentation on this one. Got the shamrock in the back of the bottle, a nice thick heavy bottle, really nice. This is a perfect like deepest darkest winter scent. This is gonna project even in the Arctic. It's a very warming fragrance because of the booze and the spices. Oh, Tammy, hello Tammy. I think, is this the first time you've joined one of my lives? I think it might be. I could be wrong, unless you've come along when I was drunk. But hi Tammy, nice to see you. What's your scent of the night, Tammy? So, what have we got? Let's go for this one. Jim, actually more like spilled alcohol in a bar. Okay, I can kind of see what you're saying. I'm trying to get the lid off this one. So this is Towers Le Maroc Pour Elle. So Tammy is wearing Under My Skin. Very nice. Very sexy. Changery, do you like roses in a chypre? Portrait of a Lady, for example. By the way, I love the rose design in the box of Diptyque's Eau Capitale. Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen that box. Yes, I definitely enjoy rose. I've got Portrait of a Lady here. That's coming out in a bit. Jim, I shouldn't be so negative on Valentine's Eve. Honesty is always the best policy, Jimbo. At the end of the day, it's only smelly water. And we've all got an opinion. Right, so I've got Le Maroc Pour Elle. This is the first one from the line by Andy Tower. The cat is just literally right here. Let's see if I can... Here she is. Ooh. Oh, I can't really get her properly in shots, so... And now I've kind of like messed up the angle. Messed up the angle of the dangle, so I've cut my head off. Sorry about this. Sweetie, they're all saying hello to you, darling. I'll pick her up in a minute and bring her on. So this is Le Maroc Pour Elle. Check out the colour. This stuff is crazy. This is the original unreformulated version. So I remember Mr. Tower saying that he had to reformulate because the he went too heavy. I think he went too heavy on the rose, and I'm not sure if it's to do with IFRA or costs, but either way, this basically is an extract, even though it's advertised as eau de parfum. It's super strong. I don't know why I don't wear this more often. Chang Nui, Wow Tower. Tim Wilcox, here's a mad idea. Fragrance for the homeless. Can we all donate our extra stuff to the homeless? No reason why they wouldn't want to smell nice, just a thought. They might just sell the perfume to buy whatever they're addicted to. Not saying they're all addicts, but I think to survive on the streets, you probably need something to keep you going, you know. Tammy's saying hi to Sweetie. Jim, love that idea, Tim. Amy, the homeless don't take anything from me except cash, not even food or jackets. I've heard stories. I'm sorry. Let's just change the angle. I wasn't quite. I don't think I'm straight. Here we are. I don't think that's quite right. Ah. Yeah, I've heard stories on our local Facebook group about people trying to give food to the homeless, and then like as soon as they've walked away, they've thrown the food on the floor. They just want money. But yeah, so Le Maroc Pour Elle is a rose and jasmine, incense, spices, resins, woods. Very tower, very, very tower. Kind of bubblegummy, the rose and the jasmine combination. It's quite sweet, but the sweetness comes from the florals. It doesn't feel like there's any added vanilla or anything sugary. It's really, really good. In the dry down, I get quite a lot of vetiver, and it's kind of like the grassy vetiver. And it's not listed officially, but Mr. Tower did confirm when I reviewed it, when I said I smelt vetiver, he did say there is vetiver in there. Not a lot, but I smell it in the dry down. Christy says, I'm making fragrances for rehab centres and shelters in my town. Tim, very rewarding. How are you doing that? Are you taking decants, or what do you mean, Christy? That's interesting. Amy, I don't really like rose scents, but I'm curious to hear what everyone loves. What's everyone's favourite rose fragrance? Share away, guys. Christy, I make solid perfumes on little cards, enough for about 4 wearings, and solid so there's no alcohol. Oh, brilliant. That's really nice. A little bit of luxury in a world of pain, basically. That's really lovely. Tammy says there's too many to list. Come on, Tammy, give us your top 5 or 5 of your favourites. So yeah, the Tower is almost bubblegum sweet, jasmine, rose. It's very rich, it's very syrupy, and then in the dry down, woodsy, incensey. It feels quite spicy. It feels oriental, but I don't really feel like there's vanilla in here. Really long lasting, super strong. And this one has definitely got me compliments from females, from fellow colleagues and stuff like that. It's very nice, and yeah, look at the colour of it. So this was a Christmas card from my neighbours at number 2. So I reckon, where are we down to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've now got my 5 favourites to show you, but I might just make a quick drink if you don't mind me leaving you just for a second. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm sure you don't mind. Just quickly, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to grab my vodka and Diet Coke and I'll pour it at my seat. So there's, hello sweetie. Where's the Diet Coke? That's out here. Okay, so I'm not gone for long. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Okay, so it's a Russian standard today. Just a little one because I'm trying to lose weight. So I think I said earlier, I've lost my, cheers. I've lost my holiday weight. Now I just need to lose my Christmas weight. So I don't want too much vodka because calories. So I am back on keto because I was tearing my hair out figuring out how to lose weight because I can't seem to do it unless there's rules. Like, I don't know, I tell myself just eat healthy, just count calories or whatever, just have this rule, that rule, and I can't do it. Keto, when I first went onto keto, I lost half a stone in a couple of weeks and it was amazing. And when I went on holiday and I gained half a stone in 2 weeks, but I came back and went on keto and I lost it all very quickly again. So I know that keto works and I don't find it that difficult to keep going with it. So that's what I've decided to do. Ooh. And you can drink vodka on keto. Okay. Right. Amy, my favourite plain rose fragrance is Stella. My favourite tropical happy rose is Jacita Le Douceur de Siam. Favourite realistic rose is La Col Noir. I really need to try that. I heard La Col Noir has a licorice note. Is that right, or am I wrong about that one? Amy said, "Come on, sweetie, jump up on the chair and entertain us." She did last time, didn't she? Or she did once, didn't she? Well, I'm not sure about entertaining you as such, but yeah. Amy remembers Stella being very beautiful. I loved Stella. I started off with the Stella Eau de Parfum. Then I got into the Rose Absolute and that was my favourite and I loved that. But then suddenly you couldn't get it for love nor money. It was gone, completely gone. And when it kind of re-emerged quite a few years later, it wasn't the same. It really wasn't. I mean, it's still really nice, but it was not the same. And I think it's gone again because I've seen it on eBay for really expensive. Amy said, I think it's been reformulated a few times. I guess, I mean, IFRA does change the rules here and there and things get more restricted. And I guess if they've got, I don't know if they use a lot of natural rose, but if they did, then I guess they have to reduce it. Mel used to love Stella and Tocade. Frankenstein, keto for the win. I'm on it as well. It's not sustainable though. You're right, it's difficult. I'm trying to be a little bit more relaxed about it this time. So today I had a coffee with milk in because I was in a cafe and didn't think they'd have cream. So I'm going to let little things like that go and I'm trying not to be, it's probably better to be on it mostly. And but yeah, it's difficult if everyone's having dessert in the pub, when you go for lunch or whatever, it's pretty difficult to not take part in that. Amy, still haven't tried Kazimi, need to fix that. Amy says, no licorice to my nose in La Col Noir, rose and musk, some kind of fruit. Okay. Tammy agrees that Stella was lovely. So Tammy says her favourite roses are Kazimi, Le Douceur de Siam, Poussière de Rose by Parfums de Rogine. It's discontinued. Annick Goutal's Rose Splendide, Une Rose by Frederic Ramal is great too. So many more though. There's so many good roses. Jim loves Guerlain Muscat Noble. I need to I think I smelled it briefly in the shop and I can't really remember except thinking I didn't fall in love at first sniff. Hermes Myrrh Eglantine. I haven't tried that one, Jim. Chang Louis says La Col Noir is elegant. And Tammy says Tobacco Rose by Papillon is so lovely. Jasmine says it's 0.04% maximum rose in perfumes. That is a very small amount of rose that you're allowed to have in a perfume. Is there an ashy note in Tobacco Rose? No. Christy, all these difficult names, writing furiously. Yeah, try saying them all, especially the ones you haven't heard of. Tammy says, I didn't detect any, but I only sampled it, need more time. So actually, tobacco is not listed in Tobacco Rose, so we may as well talk about it now. So I've now got I've kind of like taken my 5 favourite roses from what's on this table, but there are things that I've forgotten to bring down. So bear that in mind. These are not necessarily my 5 favourite roses in the world ever. They're just the ones that I've gathered quickly to share with you all. So let's talk about Tobacco Rose. This is definitely one of my favourite roses. And actually, this is a fragrance that's really not my usual thing, because a lot of my fragrances are very sweet. A lot of them are gourmand, and this is one of the least sweet fragrances in my collection. So Tobacco Rose. There we have the bottle. This is my second bottle, but I do share decants, samples, sometimes swap decants, etc. So I haven't really used 2 whole bottles worth. However, I do really love it. A Tobacco Rose. Shall we put it here on the shelf so you can kind of see it a little bit? My very glamorous shelf here. So Tobacco Rose it's got beeswax and hay, and it's got this dry natural smell to it. It's quite rich. The rose is pretty, and it forms part of the composition, but it doesn't feel like it's, if it wasn't, rose doesn't need to be in the title. To me, some people get loads of rose from it. But to me, I feel like the other notes really kind of dominate. It's a bit savoury, and I think that's it. So I've recently got to know Hey Absolute because it's in the perfume that I've been sort of collaborating on, and it's been a big deal because it's changed. The one that we were using is no longer available, and so I smelt both different versions, and I kind of now understand Hey Absolute quite well, and I feel like there's a really lovely Hey Absolute in here. It feels savoury to me and dry, and I'm picturing fields of hay warming in the sun with rose bushes. It's not, I mean, tobacco is not listed as a note in this one, and I'm pretty sure Liz Moore says she doesn't actually put Tobacco Absolute in here. When she tried putting Tobacco Absolute into the fragrance, it didn't work how she wanted it to. So she's actually built a tobacco accord without using actual tobacco. I can see how it's called tobacco because it's like unsmoked sweet tobacco, but not cherry tobacco. But and definitely not in a bad way. I wonder if I've got the actual notes up. No. I can't always remember the notes for Tobacco Rose. Let me see if I can find the actual notes and see if I can then pick them out. Because it's been a while since I reviewed this one, like years. Tobacco Rose. Let's see what we've got in here. Okay, Bulgarian Rose and Rose de May. We've got Oak Moss, Ambergris, Beeswax and Peru Balsam. So Liz did say recently she uses real ambergris in this perfume, which is possibly what's giving it that kind of salty, savoury feel. Doesn't smell honey-like, so beeswax definitely doesn't smell like honey. I think if you think about beeswax candles, that might give you more of an idea. It's really lovely. It's beautiful on skin. When I wear it on my skin, when it dries down, I get something a little bit like vetiver from it. So like a grassy vetiver. I'm pretty sure Liz confirmed there's no vetiver in here, but that's what I get on my skin. It's really beautiful, really complex, really interesting. Jim says, He has a sample of Angelique in the mail, and Tobacco Rose sounds nice. Yeah. Tobacco Rose is lovely. Angelique is beautiful. It's very delicate, lovely, irisy violet, gorgeous. Tim, Dior are making quite a few soft roses for the Chinese market, like Le Col Noir. All very nice and smooth, but not all very distinctive. Yeah, Dior lately seems, I mean, they're getting a bit of shit for their recent releases. Even their Privé lines are quite light and clean. And I think that us fragheads find that a bit dull. Jim, good to know, Forever Fragrant Kid. I've never tried any Papillon, so looking forward to. Yeah, Jim, they are so good. Even if they're not quite your thing, I think you're going to appreciate the complexity and the beauty of them. I mean, Liz Moores spends years creating just one fragrance. So you know, there's time and effort that's gone in to get it perfect. The Curious Perfumer, I'm supposed to get a sample of Blondine today. Can't wait to sniff it. I don't think I've tried that one, but it definitely sounds really nice. Tammy says Hermescence Rose Ikebana is a great sparkly rose with rhubarb. Oh, that sounds really nice. Tim says Liz Moores is the best, isn't she just? And Sarah, I think Habit Rouge is about as close as I've got to liking Rose so far, but interested to try Tobacco Rose and Portrait of a Lady. Portrait of a Lady, let's go there, shall we? Oops, sorry, I just stood on the standy thing. Let's go for Portrait of a Lady. This is kind of an obvious choice, really, for a rose fragrance. This is very dominant with the rose. So, Portrait of a Lady is a rich rose. It's dry, lots of just dry spices, woods, patchouli. I get some incense from it. In the dry down, so when I first spray it, I don't love it. I like it and it's really interesting. It's a gorgeous rose note. In the dry down, I get, at some point, I get a petrichor note. So it feels like rain hitting a hot pavement, which I love. Forever Fragrant Kid. Pottle is a really good one. Portrait of a Lady. Yeah, we know what you mean, Tammy. Robert says, you never stood, you staggered a bit. I don't stagger. Jim did purchase Ambre Noir. That's a Dior one. I found that too oody for me. I think, no, Ambre Noir. No, Ambre Noir is the rose, rose amber one, isn't it? Yes, so Portrait of a Lady, yes, Chang is super powerful, so strong. This is one I would spray an hour before I left the building because it is so strong, but I love it. So you've got rose, you've got patchouli, you've got some spices. I think there's pepper and incense and vanilla. I would like it if they amped up the vanilla a little bit, but I would probably layer this with a very simplistic vanilla just to get a bit more vanilla from it. Dry, spicy, and as I say, on my skin, in the dry down, I get this gorgeous rain hitting the pavement thing with it as well. Lots of development, stunning fragrance, masterpiece. Don't say masterpiece too often. I say it about Portrait of a Lady. It's great. Who else has tried Portrait of a Lady? Who loves Portrait of a Lady? Portrait of a Lady is one of those classic, if you're a frag head, it's something you have to try even if you don't like rose. Almost as a reference. So, one of my favourite roses is Me Too. This one here. So Me Too, kind of, when you first spray it, has some similarity to Intense Cafe, but it's not as sweet as Intense Cafe. It's more woody. Also has a little bit of a connection to Creed's Spice and Wood. It's almost like you took some of Intense Cafe and some of Creed's Spice and Wood, and they met in the middle, and that's Me Too. Me Too has a beautiful, so it's like there's some citrus in the opening. The rose feels quite fresh to start with. There's sandalwood and there's vanilla and there's spices, there's cinnamon, a little bit of incense. It's inspired by sort of angels, sorry. Inspired by angels. The creator, Nan Bailey, is very religious and very holy, and has been inspired by angels her whole life. And this is a fragrance that she created as created with that inspiration in mind, and it is absolutely beautiful. I think there's some raspberry. There's some red fruit in here. I think it's raspberry. It's really gorgeous. I love this one. Christy, Confession. I never smelt Portrait of a Lady. Curious Perfumer. Anyone tried Narcotic V in here? I don't think I have. Bureau, Hillary, I got Fragrance Mail, best day ever. What did you get? So Me Too is definitely one of my favourite rose fragrances. That's that one there. In fact, I'm going to go on skin because I've got space. I'm going to go here. Lovely. So this one's not too thick, not too heavy, not cloying. It's not as rich as, say, like the Andy Tower, not as bombastic as Portrait of a Lady. It's got that perfect, you can wear it to work, you can wear it in any situation kind of thing about it. But the rose is gorgeous in here. Jim has a package waiting at home too. There's no package waiting for me anywhere at the moment. But I spoke about that earlier, not having a date on Valentine's Day. Hopefully there'll be fragrant mail though. Forever Fragrance Kids Centauri is, yes, agreed. I think I'm going to buy Dendera this month. Yeah, love Dendera. I might actually layer it with Simplistic Vanilla as well. I know there's vanilla in Dendera, but I reckon I wouldn't mind amping it up a little bit. But I love Dendera. It's a beautiful incensey, that's got rose in it as well. Incense, rose, spice thing, amber. It's beautiful. Really, really good. Tim says, Portrait of a Lady, we were forgetting best rose as worn by Tyson Fury. My spies sold him a bottle. Really? He wears Portrait of a Lady? That's interesting. Hillary, I got Coeur des Anges from Atelier des Ors and my samples of the Centauri perfumes. Interesting. Okay, Hillary. Looking forward to the reviews. I hope you do some reviews on all of those. Coeur des Anges is beautiful. Really pretty. And I'd love your thoughts on Centauri. Hillary says, damn it, I said I'd be your date. Sorry, I forgot. But you haven't got a package. I like a package, Hillary. Tammy, that would be yummy. I've forgotten what we're talking about. Right, let's smell some more roses, shall we? We've got more, you know. Doesn't it end here? So I've got one here. It's called, company's called Sarah Ireland, and it's called Crushed Velvet. Oh, the vanilla. Oh, I get you. Yes. Yes, because I know there's vanilla in there, but I don't pick it out as, it's more part of the amber accord. But I think I would find my most simplistic vanilla and just I'll just spray that on first with the Dendera on top, just to get a bit more vanilla. But I mean, it's gorgeous as it is. Doesn't need anything doing to it, but I do love vanilla. So yeah. Yeah, it's slight. Yeah, to me it just feels blended in with the ambery dry down. So this is called Crushed Velvet. It's by Sarah Ireland, based in the UK. And this one is, are you going to try it too? Oh, brilliant. I have actually got the notes up of this. Oh, I thought I had the notes. Yeah, I do. This has ylang ylang, patchouli, tuberose, geranium, Bulgarian rose, Moroccan rose, vanilla and sandalwood. So this one's, the rose is quite bright, a little bit sharp in the opening. Ylang ylan's not mega obvious to me, neither is the tuberose. Feels more like they just form a little bed for the rose to sit upon. Yes, it's fruity. So the description here says it's fruity with spicy. Definitely is fruity. So we have got, there's no fruity notes as such, but it does come off fruity. I guess the geraniums usually does smell quite rosy, so, but it's got this earthiness, which is probably coming from the patchouli. So it's not that dissimilar from Portrait of a Lady, but it's not as, if I can find the, where I sprayed Portrait of a Lady. That's Tobacco Rose. Yeah. It's not as dry as Portrait of a Lady. It's probably an easier to wear version of Portrait of a Lady, and I'm sure there's no connection, that it's not trying to be Portrait of a Lady, but it definitely has some things in common. It's not as dry, not as woody, not as spicy. Oh, Mark is in the building. Hi Mark, thank you. So sweet of you. Mark is running a competition and we are trying to find the best new female reviewers. If you haven't been following what's been going on, check out his channel, check out some of these new reviewers, and we have some of them in the chat actually. So we have Hillary, and we have, so Hillary is Nerdy Bureau. Hillary's Nerdy Bureau, Nerdy Fragrance Reviews. We also have, oh, where's she gone? The Curious Perfumer is in the building. She's one of our contestants. And there's another one, my Afrikaans friend. Christy subbed to all of them. Robe said nerdy or naughty. I thought I heard naughty. Hillary, are you nerdy or are you naughty, or are you a little bit of both? Let us know. She says they go hand in hand, Mark. Good for you, Hillary. Maybe I will be your date tomorrow after all. So we are smelling Sarah Ireland Crushed Velvet, and it's a really beautiful rose that's kind of fresh but rich, and velvet is a really good word because it is velvety. Really, really nice. Yeah, Tim, check out Sarah Ireland. She's got a really nice little collection of fragrances based here in the UK. Where are you from, Tim? Are you from the UK or are you from elsewhere? Yeah, she does like a really interesting spicy fragrance. I can't remember what it's called. It's got a strange name like Kiyahaha or something. But yeah, I really like the Sarah Ireland Crushed Velvet. And that also feels like it has this a little bit of a rain on earth type scent, which I really love. Might be jasmine, which is in quite a lot of fragrances to bring some earthiness. Mark says, love you, Claire. Hope all is well. Just stopped by, seeing you alive. Dinner time here. Thanks for popping by, Mark. Enjoy your dinner. Enjoy your family. And we look forward to finding out who the winner is tomorrow for the competition. Very, very excited. I've put my votes in. So the way it's worked is we have all the judges have put in our votes for our favourite 3 in order. And Mark has also voted. He's told me what he's voted for, who he's voted for, and he will do a little count up, and then the winner's going to be announced tomorrow. So even if you don't have a love in your life, you may well end up with winning a prize, a really quite a wonderful package of prizes that we've managed to gather together from some really generous fragrance companies. Roland, I'm sorry, I'm kind of like behind a little bit on these comments here. So Curious Perfumer loves nerds. Roland is addicted to Satin Oud Satin Mood from Francis Kurkdjian, and Tammy loves that one. And Christy's got a run. Tacos are ready. Enjoy, Christy. And so Roland says, enjoy, Christy. Yum, yum, yum. My dinner was broccoli. So I had a really late lunch. I met up with Dan. He came round to collect. So I said to him he could have my table, or actually the table that we bought together when we were together in my old house. I've decided I don't want a table, so he's taken that for his flat. So he came round today, picked up the table and the chairs, and then we went for a late, or for me it was breakfast stroke lunch, but it was about 3 o'clock this afternoon. We went for a fry up, and then just before I came on to chat to you lot, I had some leftover broccoli. I did like a broccoli, cheese and bacon bake yesterday, and I had some leftovers, so I just had that. That was my dinner. But I might have some yogurt and raspberries. I've got some Greek yogurt and some raspberries, so I might do that as a snack. Robert, what have I won? Oops, wrong competition. I thought it was the hottest Scotsman with my kilt on. There's a competition. I'm sure you can find a competition like that. You can enter, Robert. Roland, I work at a good restaurant, free meal at the end of the day. Quite a perk. Yeah, that is really nice. Yeah, especially if the food's good. That's definitely nice. Jim was walking home from the metro, so decided to stop by the Hyatt to have a drink with you. Very nice. Cheers. Cheers, Jim. And Hillary's in the process of making mustard salmon. I'm sorry, but that makes me want to spew, Hillary. I don't like fish. Robert, I did notice you'd eaten broccoli. Oh, come on, Robert. Roland, sounds good too. Tim's in Manchester. Ah, English and Irish. Oh, cool. Fellow Brit, hi. Nice to meet you, Tim. Yeah, so Sarah Ireland is in the UK, so I was just concerned you wouldn't be able to try them because I don't think she can ship outside the UK. I could be wrong, but a lot of, it's really difficult for independent perfumers to get their fragrances out of the UK. Roland, preferably baked on the skin. I think we're talking about mustard salmon still. So I have 2 more rosy fragrances. So this one's actually not got that much rose in, but I wanted to include it because it's so Valentine's. It's so ridiculously Valentine's. If you watch my video that I just uploaded, it was in there. And it's Panna London. And it's called, this one's called Pink Champagne Truffle, but they have renamed it to something similar. I can't remember what it's called. Does anyone know what it's now called? I think it's called Marc de Champagne Truffle, actually. It just came into my head. So, Marc de Champagne Truffle or Pink Champagne Truffle. And this one, if you watch my video, you don't need to hear me saying this again, so I'll do it quite quickly. But this one to me is you take a raspberry flavoured fondant centre and you wrap it in dark chocolate and then you roll it around in desiccated coconut, and then on the side you have a glass of raspberry liqueur. That is that. That is it. That is it. It's that simple. It's fucking beautiful. But there is rose in here. So I feel like the rose and the raspberry combine to just make a beautiful pink fruity element. Tammy says, damn, that sounds tasty. I think we're talking about the salmon mustard. So definitely baked on skin. Mustard topping has brown sugar, thyme, garlic and Evo. I don't know what Evo is. Roland, now I'm hungry again. Dan, hello Dan Spanos. Okay, I'm here, you can start now, Claire. Dan, you're late. You have to stay after class, Dan. So we're smelling pink champagne truffle, which is a dark chocolate, raspberry, maybe a hint of coconut. Actually, my colleague commented on this one the other day at work. I wore this to work and he really liked it and said it smells coconutty. And I do, even though it's not listed, I feel like there's a desiccated coconut, a dry coconut element to it, but it doesn't take over. It's just, it's very light. Yes, so Dan, you will be writing lines on the blackboard. So, is there anyone who's not joining in the chat who's watching? Because I'm watching you and you need to sign on the register. So do come into the chat, sign on. You won't be in trouble. I'm going to have an amnesty, so you won't be in trouble. I'm not going to make you stay after class. Just pop in, sign on, let us know you're here, say hello, share your scent of the day. You are welcome here. So pink champagne truffle, probably not too much rose in there, but it's so damn Valentine's that I had to include it. Right then. I've got one more rose. This one is Dan's and he was sent it for review and I think it's a clone. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. It's an Al Haramain fragrance. So this was sent to Dan, Mr. Smelly. He's left it here because we're going to talk about it on a upcoming frag chat. But because it's called Janoon Rose, is that Janoon? It's Janoon Rose. You can't see it. Janoon Rose. I think it's a clone of Lilac Love, which we were talking about earlier. Because as soon as I smelled it, I said it smells. So when you spray it, it's pink. The juice comes out pink. I love that. And I instantly recognised rose and almond. Actually, not instantly, but within moments. Initially, so now I can smell almond straight away. Really nice almond, like literally like marzipan, like sweet almond and rose, but somehow quite different to that. And now that one does have a bit of almond as well, but quite different to that, not as powdery. Oh, Moody Boo! Boo's in the house. Hey, Moody Boo. So this has a really beautiful almond in the opening. And we have Daniel San. Hey yo. And we have La Charisma. Hello, scent of the day is an indie perfumer, Ludovica di Loreto. And it's called Lou Lay. And Awakening Sacred Flow saying hello. Hi, thank you so much for signing in. I'm going to sign your name down on the register right now. Writing it down. Thank you for joining in, saying hello. Awakening Sacred Flow loves pink champagne truffle. It is a gorgeous fragrance. I really love it. It's quite sweet, it's quite rich. It's not one I reach for a lot, but when I do, I really love it. So we are talking about this Al Haramain fragrance called Janoon Rose. And I get rose and almond to start with. Roland, Al Haramain's budget scent I'm not a big fan of, but pay a little more and the quality jumps up. Same for Rasasi. Portfolio series is great, quality stuff. Performance smells quite natural. Yeah. Yeah, so when I tried this the other day, I really loved the opening. But, I mean, and it's really prevalent. So I sprayed it, I remember spraying it here on my hand. and it's really prevalent. I was wondering, before I knew it was supposedly a clone of Blossom Love, I was wondering if it was a Parfums de Marly female, like Delina, or the other one, Cassili. I wondered if it was one of those. It's very girly. But what I found was the almond hangs around not for a long time. So what I love is the almond in the opening, and on my skin the almonds seem to bugger off quite quickly, which is a shame. It is a really pretty fragrance, and I think if you like Parfum de Marly Delina, then you're probably going to like it. It's probably just a bit too girly for my taste. If only that almond would hang around. But I don't think it does. I still need to test. I haven't worn it. I've only literally sprayed one hand. It's super pretty, super long lasting, very floral, very girly, a little gourmand in the opening. I think there was quite a lot of vanilla in the dry down, but I'm barely remembering it now. All I remember is being sad about the almond. I wish the almond hung around. So that's Al Haramain's Janoon Rose. But it certainly doesn't feel like a typical clone fragrance, although it did leave a bit of a sticky oil on my skin, which is kind of like a trademark thing for a clone to do. And I don't know why I'm smelling it my hand now, because it's not on there anymore. Oh. Okay then, so that is all the fragrances done. I could go and get Midnight Poison. Give me a hand raise or a thumbs up if you want Midnight Poison, and I will go and get it from upstairs. That means I have to leave you unsupervised for 5 minutes. I need to know that you can behave yourself. 4 minutes maybe. I'm going to leave you unsupervised for 4 minutes while I go and get the Midnight Poison. Okay, behave, people. I'll be back. Oh, look at you, so cute. I'm back. I'm back. Did you all behave? I'm going to check. Okay. Can't behave, won't behave, says Jasmine. I like your attitude, actually. Dan says, I guess I'm in charge now. Tammy, we weren't doing anything. Nope. You're all guilty. I know you are. So I found another rose. So I've got Midnight Poison. There we are, Midnight Poison. Just showing you that beautiful bottle. It's a tester, so you have the notes on the back. Damascene Rose Essence Patchouli Amber Accord. So we've got that one, and I picked up Red Queen from 4160 Tuesdays because that's quite rosy as well. Roland, I behaved badly. Love the colour, great bottle. Yes, this bottle is absolutely beautiful. When you get different light through it. Get different, yeah, different shades. Look at that. Right, so Tammy says Red Queen is lovely. Moody Boo Reviews says yum. Right then, let's go in first with the Red Queen, and we'll hold off the Midnight Poison just for a mo. So, Red Queen was a collaboration between 4160 Tuesdays and Safle Bon, the fragrance website. So this is very strong on the rose, kind of a similar rose to what was in this one actually. So kind of sharp and fresh at the same time. And there's some spice in here. I think it's cinnamon. This one got better the longer I had it. So when I first got the bottle, I was a bit disappointed, but as it aged, it got much more voluptuous and much more to it. Roland says kind of mysterious or like a magic potion. Yeah. It's rich, but there's a touch of something sour in here that counteracts a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of sourness at the same time. A little bit woodsy, a little bit spicy, tiny bit smoky, almost like incensey. Dan says I should try Towerville Rose Flash. I think I did. In fact, I think I might have had a bottle. I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember. It wasn't quite right for me, and I can't remember why. Has it got a lot of patchouli in it? I can't really remember, but I know that I had it or I tried it and I didn't really like it. Or it's not like I didn't like it, but I didn't love it. So Red Queen, I don't know the notes. I can look them up though because I've got Fragrantica in front of me. So let's see what's in here. But to me, it's spicy, woodsy, incensey rose. And a bit fruity as well, actually. Right, here we are. Inspired by Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. So we have raspberry. So Rich earlier was saying he enjoys raspberry in fragrances. Raspberry bergamot. We've got labdanum, opoponax, rose. I think that's musk. Oilbanum. They're the only listed notes. Raspberry, bergamot, rose, oilbanum, opoponax and musk. It definitely feels like there's more spices, but the spiciness might be coming from the resins, or there might be spices that aren't listed. Either way, it's quite a nice complex rose fragrance. Just a touch fruity, a touch incensey. Probably the musk will come out later. You don't really get the musk to start with, and it's certainly a clean musk, if anything. So yeah, that's Red Queen. So Jim is at the Hyatt having a drink. He says whatever they spray in their lobby smells wonderful, but no rose note. Jim needs another drink. Cheers, Jim. I got another one. You should get another one. J9 says the rose flash is too sweet for my taste, not in a pleasant way. Mel's never smelt Midnight Poison. And Tammy doesn't understand why they discontinued Midnight Poison. Right then, let's smell this beast, shall we? Let's smell Midnight Poison. So Dan bought this one on eBay and he gifted it to me for my birthday last year. And I haven't tried wearing it yet because I think the patchouli is just a bit much for me. I should give it a go though. I mean, it's only right, isn't it? Oh, actually, there's greenness in here, which I don't remember. So, just trying to scroll up to get your comments. So actually, it's not quite what I remember smelling the first time I smelled it. There is a fresh green smell, like I guess you would attribute to a rose stem, which I never really thought of before. You can smell the patchouli coming through. It's not too dominant at the moment. It's definitely dark. It's a really dark fragrance. Dan says it had time to macerate. The thing is, Dan, it's discontinued for quite a long time, so I would be surprised if it would have changed that much in a sort of half a year or so. It's nicer than I remember. Let's see what the notes are according to Fragrantica. So I used to always call it Fragrantica, and that's what I thought it was. And I kind of like, once I learned it wasn't Fragrantica, I still called it Fragrantica because I like the idea of it being named after a curry. So Midnight Poison. Okay, it's loading. Yeah, this is actually really nice. I'm going to wear this. I'm going to be brave and wear it. Trying to scroll down on the website. The website's having trouble loading. Moody Boo, have you tried already talking about Lyric Woman? No, I've only tried a dupe of Lyric. I think it was Lyric Woman. Actually, I'm not sure if it was Lyric Man. I think it was Lyric Man. I tried a dupe of it and it was so soapy that I kind of wrote off Lyric by Amouage, men or women. I think I just thought, no, Lyric soapy. Tell me what Lyric Woman's like, Moody Boo. Right, let's see if this website's loaded for the old notes here. So Midnight Poison. The perfumers were Jacques Cavalier and Oliver Cresp in collaboration with Francois Demachet. So we have 3 perfumers that worked on that one. And we've got notes of mandarin and bergamot, rose, patchouli, amber and French vanilla. Launched in 2007. I don't know when it got discontinued though. I don't know how long this one was available for. So I need to wear this because I want to see what happens when the vanilla comes out to play. Because I wasn't even aware there was vanilla in here. And I do like my vanilla. And this would have been made back in the day when vanilla wasn't as expensive as it is now. So quite possibly would have had natural vanilla in it. Just looking at the comments, trying to see when it got discontinued. Someone on Fragrantica is saying it lasted 24 hours on their skin. Wow. So, how does it smell? So Dan, no, it was off eBay, so it was second hand. And it would have been old because I think it's been discontinued a sort of a good few years. So yeah. Oh, I think, yeah, used. It was used. Amy, I liked Red Queen. Rose Flash was very jammy. I liked Amora by Henley, but apparently Rose and Toll is the rose one, and I haven't tried that one. J9, what about SP Parfum Rose Polaroid? We've done Rose Polaroid already, and that's aldehyde rose and green mossy dry down. Very cold rose, very fresh, icy, cold rose. We did that one pretty much first. Jay, Rich Mitch is back. Hello, has anyone smelled SJP Stash? I have. To me, it's like a vetiver, woodsy coconut shell of a fragrance. Really interesting, and something I enjoy on other people, but don't necessarily not that I would choose to wear it myself. Tammy doesn't think Midnight Poison was out for very long, only a year or two maybe. Okay, that's interesting. So I have a real unicorn here. I'm very lucky that Dan was kind enough to gift it to me. Moody Boo, I feel like it's a very incensey rose on the top and powdery dry down. Some woods and sweetness comes in from the ylang, vanilla and tonka. So that is Lyric Woman that Moody Boo is talking about. So it's incensey rose, powdery dry down, woods and sweetness. Amy doesn't like Stash, too bold, brash and woody, but it is a cheap one. It's very woody, yes, and it's very loud. Rich Mitch says it's fucking fantastic, Jim. 15 quid at Fragrance Shop in the UK at the moment. Nice spice. Tammy says Stash is decent for a celeb scent. The oil version is better. I think it's really decent for the price. Really decent, and not like a generic celebrity scent at all. It's very bold. Tim, have you tried chicken tarka? It's like chicken tikka, but a little hotter. Oh, do you know what I was thinking? Oh my god, there's a new Indian dish I need to try. Tim, Jim, dang, for that price I'll order it. Roland, don't leave your perfume on the heater. It doesn't exactly improve it. You are right. Heater's not on, by the way. It's cold, but you're right. Just in case I forget later, I will take that off. Thank you, Roland. J9, Panna released Rose Grandeur last year. Did anyone smell it? I can't remember if I tried that one or not. I really can't remember. I think I might have done and I didn't love it. I could be wrong though. Moody Boo, have you tried Manakara by Indult? It's on the opposite scale of Lyric. Juicy, fruity, sweet rose. I don't care for rose much, but love this one. No, I've not tried it. I've not even heard of it. So, it's really strange how this is different to me now, smelling it now, than it was when I first tried it. This is really smooth and creamy. It's got a freshness to it and a slight woodsiness. It's definitely dark though. I mean, the colour of the bottle does do it justice. It is dark. I'm gonna put some on skin because that's a more fair way. Did I spray anything there? What have I sprayed? I sprayed something. Oh, there's my so we'll spray this side. So we're going to go on skin with the Midnight Poison. This is almost certainly not going to be IFRA compliant now based on the current regulations, I'm sure. So we'll let that dry off a little bit. Hilary says, have you tried Rose's Barbaranza? Find it to be so fun and playful, but the pistachio note makes it interesting. I've tried Barbaran's and Parfait de Roses. I can't remember, there was one I preferred over the other, but I was in the shop. I really need to try them properly. But I think I found them both a little bit too sweet. I can't really remember. But they're definitely really nice. And I want to own a Maison Lancôme bottle because they are stunning. I just haven't quite found the right one for me. Even Iris Draguez, which should have been perfection to me, I had a sample and I liked it a lot, but it was maybe a bit too linear, just didn't do quite enough, didn't dance in front of me quite exotically enough for me to feel the need to go out and buy a bottle. Roland says Lyric Man is an amouage scent. Yes, Lyric Man is definitely amouage. And Tammy says Tejota is a great vanilla. Yes, I had a sample of Tejota. It was lovely, really nice. Again, though, I didn't feel any need to buy it. At the time, I compared it a little bit. Now, don't laugh. Oh, this is when my nose was a lot less experienced. I compared it to Choco Musk by Al Rehab, the super cheap chocolate musk scent, but it felt quite similar to me. So I felt like I couldn't justify buying Tejota based on that. Awakening Sacred Flow, love Manakara. Only had a sample, threw it away thinking it wasn't for me, but keep thinking about it. It has lychee note, right? Jim says, does Manuel Cross make a rose fragrance? His other perfumes are so freaking amazing. That's what's in my package at home, that it would surely be superb. I haven't tried anything by Manuel Cross. I've never even heard of him. So I'll have to have a look out and see what that's all about. Roland, I'd love to explore Amouage more. Only own one interlude. Hilary Maison Lancôme collection is a bit extensive, easily my favourite line. I can see that it's definitely a gourmand lover's line, and it should be something that I love. I just haven't quite found the right one yet. And Tammy says, I feel the same, Claire. Dan says, the only Lancôme I own is Oud Bouquet. And Tammy says, there are so many good inexpensive vanillas. Exactly. If it's quite a simplistic vanilla, I can't feel the justification to buy an expensive one. Jim says it's Rogue Perfumery, Manuel Cross. Okay, I still need to explore that line. Dan's got samples and a couple of full bottles from the line, but I don't think they're really quite my thing, because they're animalic, very green, very natural. I guess I like things a little bit more synthetic, maybe. J9, I compared Tejota. It smells like Vanilla Fields to me. So yeah, Vanilla Fields is obviously super cheap. So yeah. Tammy says Rogue does great scents. DB70 Eau de Missions is a decent cheapie. Eau de Missions is excellent. It's so good for the price. It gets compared to Guerlain Spiritueuse Double Vanille. I don't quite get that comparison. To me, it's closer to Montauk's Intense Cafe, but not as bombastic, not as rosy. But to me, it's in that ballpark. It's really good though for a cheap fragrance. Moody Boo says, Vanilla Fields, I used to love that perfume. It was my signature scent in the 90s. Roland, have you tried Mono di Oreo's Works, Murphy? Very natural. I did have briefly was it the vanilla one? Yeah, I think it was the vanilla one, and it wasn't what I expected. I blind bought it, or I blind swapped it, and it wasn't, at the time, going back a few years, it wasn't sweet enough for me, and it's a bit smoky. I would probably like it a lot more now, because my desire for sweetness is much reduced, although I do need some sweetness still. Tammy says that Eau de Mission is a simpler, more linear spirituous double vanille. Right, let's go back to Midnight Poison now it's on my hand. Yes, so definitely has this vintage feel, but not vintage female. It feels almost like a vintage male fragrance. I can smell some vanilla now. It's kind of like a creamy undertone of something like vanilla, but not just vanilla, almost like greeny wormwood type, you know, like what's in Le Male, that creamy, slightly aniseedic, clean smell. This is so much better than I remember. I'm so excited because I'm going to wear this. So you can smell the rose, but it's dark, and I think it's like the rose and the patchouli are one, and they make their own unique thing. It's very smooth, very creamy. Our Fragdicted is in the house. Hi, cheers. I feel like I've been going on quite a long time. Let me time check. I've paused the video. How long have I been going on for? I can't tell. I actually can't tell. No. I don't know how long I've been going on for. Oh, is it up there? 116 minutes. That's quite a lot. Tammy, yeah, unfortunately Europe can get it very cheap. I bought mine when it was available at Ulta before they pulled it out of the US. Very inexpensive. So DB70 is saying it's about £15 in the UK. You might find, Hilary, if you just happen to go into one of those like TJ Hughes type places, you might just find it on the shelf like half a litre for $10. That sometimes happens. Awakening Sacred Flow. Flo loves Gourmand Cacao, chocolatey with some rose. That's a nice one, quite a dark chocolate I find, quite rich. Oh, that's a bit strong. Did I not put any Coke in here? I don't think I put any Coke in here. Sorry, let me put some Coke in. Coca-Cola. That mouthful was a bit strong. So come on, let's now chat. Well, we can go back. I've got it on my hand. We can go back to Midnight Poison at varying times just to see how it changes. But let's talk about Valentines. Who is feeling it? Who's excited? Is anyone in a new relationship? I mean, that's the best time for Valentine's to come around. Or maybe not, I guess, if the pressure's on a little bit. But Fragdicted is off to Poland for his birthday. Happy birthday. Poland's going to be cold, isn't it? Oh my goodness, I'm sure you'll have loads of fun though. So come on, talk to me about Valentine's, people. Who's got a date? Who's got a date tomorrow? Or who's having date night? Or who's having a nice, comfortable night with your partner? Tammy's working. That's okay. If you weren't working, what would you be doing? So I'm considering, I've got two options. Go out with my friend, there's a live band on a pub not too far away, or stay in and live stream to all the lonely people. So yeah, not sure quite which way it's going to go. I don't need another big night out, so yeah, we'll see. Robert, have a lovely date with myself, looking in the mirror. Robert, you're so conceited. Frag dicted, comfy night in with an M&S meal and wine. Lovely. You're going for the old, is it £10 deal? They're really good, those deals. Dan Spanos, not me. No date, Dan. Tammy would probably stay in if she wasn't working. Jay says live stream, please. Mel, great chat, lovely suggestions. Going to say good night, is up early. Good night, Mel. Thank you for joining in, and we'll chat soon. DC Jim, Jim, a live stream to us lonely people. Frag dicted, yup, thumbs up. Friday night Valentine's, hell on earth. So who hates Valentine's? Who loves Valentine's? Come on, give me some. Let's hear it. Let's hear it, and I'll give you my opinion. Moody Boo, I'm so lucky. After 30 years, every day is Valentine's Day with my love monster. He bought me a standing desk for Valentine's. Romantic, right? A standing. Oh my god. Mind you, those things are bloody expensive, aren't they? But yeah, it's not the most romantic thing. Yeah, we've got them at work. We had those installed a few months ago, so we can stand up and work if we want. I'm a lazy bitch though. I rarely stand up at my desk. I like slumping. DB70 single, so I'm still scratching my head on what I'll be doing for Valentine's. Well, you know, you could go online and buy stuff to make yourself feel better. Actually, Valentine's coincides with payday for me, and so I'm going to buy, I think I'm going to buy Dendera and an amazing chair for here, or maybe not here. I might go back over to the brick wall over that way. Not quite sure where my regular filming area is going to be yet. So we've got some good comments coming in. Robert Crawford, if I don't love myself, no one else will. Lol. You lol, but actually it's true. You have to love yourself. You have to love yourself first. It's exactly the same reason why you have to put your gas mask on first in an aeroplane before you put it on small children. You've got to love yourself first. Hillary, definitely live stream. I'll be eating ice cream. Nice. I won't be eating ice cream. I might eat yogurt. I don't really want to eat on screen. That's not good. Rich, I don't like holidays. Do you mean like Valentine's and stuff? Tony, easy. Hi Smurfy. Hi Tony. Amy, I've been married 16 years, so no date. Oh, that's not fair. Well, I hope you get something nice, a meal cooked or some flowers at least. Frag dicted, I got a card and a couple of perfumes from Aldi. From Aldi. Rich Mitch, I'm taking Claire to the chippy. Oh, that's funny. Hillary, I just buy myself perfumes. Jim, ice cream, I'm with Hillary. Frag dicted, we said we weren't getting each other anything. Okay, right, I'm following at the wrong pace. So Frag dicted, Tony said we weren't getting anything. We said we weren't getting each other anything, not even a card, but I got a card and a couple of perfumes from Aldi. Right, okay. La Charisma, I'm buying flowers for my hubby for tomorrow. Oh, that's cute. Tammy says get a throne. I'm totally getting a throne, Tammy. Hillary, oh, I bet the strip club would be fun time on Valentine's Day. Moody Boo says, what's a chippy? Moody Boo, it's a chip shop, and so it just means you're going to get chips or fish and chips from the chip shop. Or you could also say a chippy is a carpenter. That's another term, but rich definitely means food, because when Rich talks, generally it talks about food. DB70, that's a great idea. Maybe I'll buy some fragrance treats. Rich Mitch loves himself 5 times a day. He also has RSI in his right hand. Tammy, perfumes at Aldi, do tell. The Centurion, Scott, my partner's going out with her sister, so a life would be appreciated. Oh, was she, is her sister single and she's being nice and taking her mind off things? Robert, I'll join you eating ice cream. We can discuss the flavours of it, love. Well, we could have a live ice cream live feed, except on keto, it's so impossible. It's completely impossible. Well, you lot can eat ice cream and talk about what you're tasting, and I will have some Greek yogurt and raspberries. Don't you go buying Dendera without me, or it will be a mud wrestle in the back garden, the paddling pool. Okay, all right, Rob, I will let you know, but I think I'm going to buy it, so yeah, we'll sort you out. Don't you worry. Rich Mitch, I'm an evil man. No, self-love in all its physical and mental aspects is healthy, I think, and it does not make you go blind. So I've still got really great eyesight. So the Aldi fragrances are £5 each. Rose and Jones, no, I missed the live again. I was making a wedding cake. What? Do you make cakes, like professionally, Lizzie? You haven't missed it. I'm still here. Probably not for too much longer. We've done all the perfumes. Scott, no, I just don't think they like me. So Scott's partner, I don't know if she's your wife, I think you said wife, is taking her sister out on Valentine's Day. Oh, I'm sure they like you. I'm sure they love you. Hilary, the Enlightened. I eat keto, Claire. The Enlightened brand keto collection is amazing. I've not heard of that, so I will look at that. Rich Mitch, if you bake it, they will eat. Yeah, Rich, you're so funny. Frank, addicted 3 for 3 is flying, my lovely. Not sure. Oh, Mr. Smelly. Hello, Dan. And Greggy Boy. Hashtag stalker. Hi, Greggy Boy. Yes, Lizzie, I'm still live. Lizzie makes wedding cakes with her sister. Wherever after cakes, check us out by all means. Can you make me a keto cake, please? No carbs, no sugar. Thank you. I'll give you my address. Actually, you probably make a fortune. There's some bakery companies that make keto treats, and they'll charge like £10 for a slice of cake, and they post it to you. You should do that. I will be your guinea pig. Send me all the cake. Tammy, what flavour cake? Oh, 3 for 3. Oh, we're talking about the tag that Lizzie started. Yeah, loads of people are doing it, and it's a great tag, really fun one. Awakening Sacred Flow, Greek yogurt and raspberries sounds good. Yeah, it is good. I like it. It's not as good as cake though. But I don't mind. I'm sick of feeling fat, so I'm actually quite happy to eat that instead of cake. Fragrance test tube. Hello again. What did I miss? Loads. You missed loads. And right now I'm smelling what Dan sent me. So Mr. Smelly, who's now in the chat, sent me. He gave me for my birthday last year. He gave me Midnight Poison, and this is the last rose fragrance that we are sniffing. It's on my skin, and it's a rose and patchouli combination. It's quite dark and very smooth, and has vanilla in the dry down. Just trying to keep up with your comments. Right, so Oh, so Lizzie says her sister makes keto food and she's brilliant. Lovely. Send it over. Send it over. Send me all the keto snacks. And Quid Vicious says, cannot beat a warm sponge woof. A Jim got a rant to all want to grab my package before it's stolen. Don't grab your package in public, Jim. You'll get yourself arrested. Thank you for joining and I'll see you soon. Dan needs to review Sandalwood, says Rich Mitch. What's that then? Fragrance test tube. Had to finish editing my last video before the contest ends. Sorry, don't apologise. Dan, dinner is ready. I'm out of here. Have a great night, everyone. See you, Dan. Rich Mitch means smell toad. Keeps talking about this smell toad, does Rich Mitch. Mr. Smelly says, Claire had a keto fry up today. Yeah, I was just telling them about that, Dan. We had a late, well, for me it was a brunch, late brunch of a fry up. But then when I got home, well, actually not that long ago, I heated up my the last of my broccoli cheese bacon bake, which was really nice, actually. I'm going to do that again with chopped up pecans in it. Really good. Bougie fragrance, top of the evening to everyone. Hi Claire. Hi Bougie. And the last video by Bougie was so fun. She had a whole family in there. It was absolutely brilliant. So do check Bougie fragrance out. Click on her and go check out her last video. Really, really good. Tammy, got a run. It was great catching you live. So good for you to pop by, Tammy. We'll see you soon. Moody Boo, the nurse in me wants to be responsible and say keto diets are not healthy for a long period of time, short periods only. Yeah, I mean, I might not last that long, to be fair, but I know that it does shift the weight quite quickly, and for me it's doable. I find it easier than Slimming World, for example. Lizzie, well done with the keto. It's not easy, but it's so good for you if you can keep with it. Quid Vicious, how do you make a vegan roll? Push them down a hill. Quid Vicious, I don't think we've met before. Cheers. Jasmine, I agree, Moody, from what I've read. Plus, Claire, you're gorgeous. Oh, thank you. Yes, so, bottoms up. Yes, exactly. Bottoms up, everyone. Lizzie, keto, it's good to kickstart a diet. It detoxes the body, ready for a new healthy lifestyle. I think my problem is the new healthy lifestyle bit. I just seem to like, last time it was like, oh, I'm not doing keto anymore. That means I can have all the sugar and then the weight just goes back on. So I really need to not do that. And Lizzie says, I'm saying this while eating shit, lol. Oh God, isn't it difficult? I think the problem is good food is too, or good food, unhealthy food, naughty food, too easy to get. Moody Boo, live long and prosper, my friend. Gotta go, love you. Love you too, Moody Boo. Thank you for popping in. So I think I'm going to call it quits in a second because we've run out of perfume and I think we've all kind of expressed our feelings on Valentines. Do have a look at my video that I just did on sexy, seductive fragrances. They're kind of like Valentine's themed. So have a look at that. Please give me a like if you liked this live stream. And I'd love to know, do you, I mean, you obviously, the fact that you're chatting to me in the live means you enjoy the lives. I'm kind of like trying to get the balance right. I don't want to do too many lives, not enough pre-recorded videos. Do you prefer lives? Do you prefer pre-recorded videos? Because I think with the lives, when you go back to them, they're kind of long and they're hard to watch. No one's got the time to watch them. Tim Bandit says, moi, he's got an allergy problem with his fur and wants to go to bed. So good night, great stuff, thanks guys. Cheers Tim, good night, and good night Bandit. Anthony, enjoyed that, you're gorgeous. Thank you very much, Anthony. Awakening Sacred Flow, lovely sharing, thanks Claire. Robert, I bet you haven't run out of vodka though. No, I've got plenty, but I've got half a glass here and that will do me for tonight. So yes, thank you so much everyone. Thank you for watching, thank you for joining in, thank you for signing on the register. Ooh. And I'll see you all in the next live video. And it might be tomorrow night, who knows.